Before Noah's Ark, India told a flood story. It is one of 5 times the world almost ended. These are the apocalypse files of Indian mythology. First, the fish that saved the world. While bathing in a sacred river, King Satyavrata cupped his hands to offer water. When he lifted them, he found a tiny fish looking up at him. The fish asked for protection and grew overnight to fill a pot, then a pond, then a river. Each time it outgrew its home, it asked for a larger one. When Satyavrata placed the fish in the ocean and it filled the ocean itself, he understood. He folded his hands before the great golden fish. This was Vishnu, the Lord of all creation. Vishnu spoke, "In 7 days, the world will be swallowed by the great deluge. Build a mighty boat, gather the 7 sages, and bring the seeds of all living things." Satyavrata obeyed. He built a vast boat and gathered the 7 sages aboard, along with the seeds of every herb, every tree, and all the creatures of the earth. The rains came without pause. The seas rose and swallowed the mountains. Only the small boat drifted on an endless ocean with a handful of survivors and the hope of a new world. The great golden Matsya appeared, enormous as a mountain, horn glowing through the dark waters. Satyavrata tied the boat to the fish's horn with Vasuki the serpent as the rope. Beneath the flood, the demon Hayagriva had stolen the sacred Vedas from Brahma. Matsya dove into the deep, slew Hayagriva, and returned the Vedas to the world. When the waters receded, Satyavrata became Manu, the first ancestor of humanity in this age. He planted the seeds and set life in motion once more. The Vedas were restored to Brahma and the world began again. Second, the earth dragged to the bottom of the ocean. The demon Hiranyaksha roars across creation. He seizes Bhudevi, Mother Earth, and drags her beneath the cosmic ocean. Darkness spreads over the worlds. The gods stand helpless, fold their hands and pray to Lord Vishnu. From the presence of Vishnu comes a tiny boar, no larger than a thumb. In a breath, it grows into Varaha, vast as the sky with a golden halo blazing. The cosmic boar lifts his snout toward the deep. Varaha plunges into the endless ocean, shaking the dark waters with a divine roar. Down through storm and serpent shadow he searches. At the ocean floor, Varaha senses Bhudevi hidden in the abyss. In the abyss, Hiranyaksha bars the path. The demon's challenge shakes the waters, but Varaha stands steady, radiant, and unafraid. The cosmic duel rolls like thunder through the deep. At last, Varaha reaches Bhudevi. With immeasurable gentleness, he lifts Prithvi upon his tusks and rises through the cosmic sea. The pride of Hiranyaksha falls before the Lord's victory. Varaha carries Bhudevi upward, safe and shining as the ocean grows still. He sets Bhudevi back in her rightful place. The sun returns. The worlds breathe again under Vishnu's protection. Earth is restored. Third, the poison that came before the treasure. The sage Durvasa offered Indra a sacred garland. In his pride, Indra placed it on his elephant, who flung it aside. Enraged, Durvasa cursed the gods and they lost all their strength and fortune. The weakened gods sought Lord Vishnu. He listened calmly and revealed a great plan: churn the cosmic ocean to release the nectar of immortality. The gods made an uneasy alliance with the demons, promising to share the prize. Together, neither side could refuse the other's strength. They uprooted the great mountain Mandara and carried it to the shore. Mandara would be the churning rod, plunging deep into the ocean's heart. The great serpent Vasuki coiled around Mandara as the rope. The demons held his head, the gods held his tail, and the churning began. But Mandara began to sink. Vishnu took the form of Kurma, the great tortoise, and held the mountain steady on his mighty back. As they churned, a terrible poison rose from the ocean. It spread like dark smoke, threatening to destroy all of creation. Shiva stepped forward without hesitation. He gathered the poison in his palms and drank it, holding it in his throat. His throat turned blue, and he became Nilakantha, the blue-throated one. Now wonders rose from the ocean. Kamadhanu, the wish-granting cow, Kalpavriksha, the divine tree, Airavata the white elephant, celestial dancers of radiant beauty, and many treasures beyond count. Then Lakshmi herself rose from the waters, serene and luminous, lotus in hand. She looked upon the assembled worlds and chose Vishnu as her eternal consort. Last of all, Dhanvantari arose, shining with divine light, bearing in his hands the golden pot of the nectar of immortality. The demons seized the pot and fled, but Vishnu appeared as Mohini, a bewitching form of incomparable grace. Enchanted, the demons surrendered the nectar, the gods drank, and the balance of the worlds was restored. Fourth, 3 cities, 1 arrow. 3 demon brothers stood in fierce penance, unmoving beneath the stars. Their austerity shook the worlds until a great boon was granted. For them, the divine architect Maya built 3 magnificent flying cities, one of gold, one of silver, and one of iron. Together, they were called Tripura. But the boon held a secret. Tripura could fall only when the 3 cities aligned, once in 1,000 years, and only by a single arrow. Grown invincible, the demons roamed the skies in their shining fortresses. Their pride became cruelty, and all the worlds trembled beneath their shadow. The gods gathered in fear and folded their hands before Shiva. Save the worlds, they pleaded, before pride devours creation itself. Then all creation became his chariot. Earth was its body, sun and moon its wheels, the Vedas its horses, Meru the bow, Vasuki the string, and Vishnu the arrow. Shiva mounted the cosmic chariot as Tripurantaka, serene, haloed, his third eye radiant. He did not rush. He waited for the destined alignment. At last, across the heavens, the golden city, the silver city, and the iron city drifted into one perfect line. The universe held its breath. With a serene smile, Shiva released the single arrow. Divine light blazed through Tripura. The 3 cities burned to ash, and balance returned to the worlds. Fifth, the demon who could not die. The great demon war raged on, and one demon made it unwinnable. Every drop of blood that Raktabija shed on the battlefield sprouted into a new demon, and the armies of the goddess were drowning. He was invincible by design. No wound could end him, for each wound only multiplied him. The more the goddess struck, the greater his army grew. Ambika, the mother goddess, watched as her forces were overwhelmed. No weapon was working, no strategy held. The battlefield itself seemed to be on the side of the demon. Then the goddess's face turned dark with divine fury. From her burning brow, a figure of terrible power erupted. Dark as a storm cloud, gaunt and blazing, Kali. Kali roared across the battlefield, her skull garland swinging and her sword raised. Her tongue lolled wide, red and vast, ready for what was to come. As Raktabija's blood began to fall, Kali spread her vast tongue across the earth. She caught every drop before it touched the ground. Not one could form a new demon. Drained and diminished, Raktabija stood alone for the first time. Kali lifted her trident and ended him. The battlefield fell silent. Kali stood on the silent battlefield, her tongue still stretched, her eyes still blazing. She had drunk the war itself, and not one enemy remained. The goddess in her fierce grace is the one who destroys what cannot otherwise be destroyed. She's Kali, the great mother who devours darkness itself. Jai Mata Ki. 5 endings, 5 rescues. The world keeps being saved. For more hand-drawn myths from India, subscribe.